What's up, guys? I'm here at West Lake in Hanoi, Vietnam, and I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on the visa situation here in terms of a major crackdown that's happened. And it was started because of a CV outbreak that happened in April this year, and people say that the cause of it was from illegal immigrants from the north border where China is coming into Vietnam and being smuggled and actually given visas by shady visa agents who have now been arrested. And so now there is a major crackdown going on with all foreigners now. Visas are being checked. Those that have been working illegally have been booted out and kicked out. So it's affected a lot of people. Now, as of March 2020 last year, if you came in after that date, you were given free monthly tourist extensions as a tourist up until now. So you can still get free monthly tourist extensions if you came in after that date. If you came before that date as a tourist, you would have to pay a fee. It was around 70 US. I think now it's gone up to like 120 US in some cases, which is quite expensive. And so a lot of people have been affected. So those that have been majorly affected are those that were on business visas and that got visas legitimately through visa agents, but didn't know that those visa agents had shell companies. And therefore, if you did get a visa, business visa through them, you are now going to be kicked out because it is illegal. You need to have a legit sponsored employer or a legit sponsor to sponsor you here, and then you can do your business here on your business visa. So there have been a lot of actual foreigners here who have had that business visa, but it was not legitimately sponsored. So now they have been told to leave. And so it's affected them, it's affected people who are retirees, because there is no retiree visa here. It's affected people who are digital nomads, it's affected them, it's affected people who are online freelancers, people like drop shippers. Drop shippers are people that would organize to get products from, say, China to New Zealand for people. So they do that all online. It doesn't affect any competitiveness here in Vietnam at all. And those people would love to stay here. They loved staying here because they love the nature vibes here. They love the food here. Those are the major things they love about Vietnam, the nature vibes and food. So they wanted to make Vietnam their home. They've now been told to leave. I saw one case of a retiree. He was told he has to leave now. He's been here for like 5 years, you know, getting his retirement money, spending his retirement money here. But because there's no visa for him here, he has to now leave. So it's a bit unfortunate that it's affected even people like him and affected online freelancers as well. And some of these people came here with legitimate reasons and legitimate purposes, but because of the whole situation now, they've been told to leave. Because of this crackdown, they've been told to leave. So those now on business visas have been checked, and as I said, if you're not with a legitimate company, who then it gives you a work permit, because you need a work permit to work here, and in turn you get a TRC, which is a temporary resident card, which lasts for 2 years in place of the visa. So if you don't have that, then you are told to leave as well. And I've seen loads, thousands of foreigners now leaving in a massive exodus from Vietnam. And if you walk around some of the streets, you will see some of the apartments that are now vacant, and it's affected those locals who own those apartments, because now they don't get their money now because those foreigners are gone. You know what I mean? So there are loads of apartments that are free, and in some cases a lot of them are really cheap too. I mean, you can get a 1-bedroom fully furnished apartment here for something like $200 to $300 US a month, which is cheap. That's for a fully furnished apartment. Comes with everything in it, even down to the cutlery, a cleaner, electricity, Wi-Fi, a parking space for your motorbike or vehicle, and then, you know, even in some cases a place that overlooks the lake, But no, they're gone, man. So this area I'll show you just over here, guys. This is Hanoi. That is the major area. All out there is Hanoi. That area there is where the majority of foreigners stay here in Hanoi. Hanoi, Teho. And now those buildings and apartments are now emptying out pretty fast. So yeah, that's been the situation here because of these illegal immigrants coming in with the CV, and now there's been like an outbreak in different provinces around the country. Major cities have been affected as well, and in turn it's affected people traveling. So on the outskirts of the provinces, you would have seen in some of my last videos, when I traveled to Khao Bang, I had to get tested, do out a health declaration, and now they have those on the edges of the cities and the provinces for people that are traveling in and out of the cities. And now, domestically, in some cases, if you go from one city like Da Nang to Hanoi, you actually have to do a quarantine, I've heard. Now, in terms of the border itself in Vietnam, the major border coming in, tourists are still not allowed into Vietnam. You need to be either an expert in a specialized field, or you need to be a local. So if you're a local, you can come in, and if you are a specialist or an expert in a specialized field, which I think now they're going to crack down on that more stringently because of the situation where the shady visa agents, I call them agents, brought in some of these illegal immigrants, giving them visas and status here to stay. So the border, I think, will not open for maybe 2 to 3 years here in Vietnam. I've got a feeling it won't open for 2 to 3 years, just looking at the situation. And those that do come in now, if you're an expert, you can quarantine for, I think it is 21 days quarantine now. And I read an article a couple of days ago that if you have the VAC, Vietnam will now reduce that down to 7 days. So yeah, that's the situation, guys, with the visas here. In terms of my visa, I'm okay. I've got a few months in mine, and so I'm fine to stay here. But I tell you what, I do miss traveling the world, and you know, I do miss traveling the countries and vlogging all the other countries, nature vibes and food. So I'd love to do a little bit more travel. Who knows what will happen towards the end of the year, guys? Who knows? But in terms of me, I'm all good in the hood. But those that have been affected, I hope you guys can sort out your extensions and renewals and your visas, and I hope it works out for you the best. If not, there are places that people are moving to. Places like Mexico is pretty much on the top list for people to go to because you don't need to quarantine. And if you're from like a developed country like New Zealand, we get a 6-month visa to stay there. And if I want to work there, I need to get a work visa, and the process is not that difficult, and it's actually quite cheap to actually work there. And I was thinking of actually going there for a few months or even a year and doing some travel. I would love to go to South America, Central America, North America, just travel around, get a van and just travel around in that van. That was a possibility. Maybe in the future, if that comes, that option comes its way, I'll probably take that option and head there. But that's going to be the place where a lot of the people from Vietnam are doing this exodus to. They call it the Golden Land of Mexico. There are other places now like Thailand that are now saying they're going to open as of July in Phuket, but you need to have a vaccine. And then Indonesia are opening up as well. And there are a few countries around that are slowly opening up their borders in Southeast Asia for tourists, because they know that the tourists bring in a lot of the money for the economy, so they want to pick up their economies back up again and try and just live with the CV as it is. And yeah, that's pretty much the situation here, guys, in terms of visas and the crackdown. And I'm not sure if I covered it, but these are pretty much the reasons for you to stay here, or the ways in which you can stay here to work and to get a business visa. One is you get a legitimate sponsor company to sponsor you. They can get your work permit TRC. 2, you can invest in a business here or pick up an existing business. You can stay here. 3, you can become a student and you can get a visa to be a student here, or you can actually marry a local here. So you can marry a local, they will actually sponsor you, that local, give you the TRC, and it's actually the best option. So I've seen a lot of foreigners now who are looking for partners and wanting to get married here in Vietnam, and in some cases I've cheekily put on their post, oh, if you need a DJ, let me know. And then I say, oh, I think I need a visa for that. It's been quite funny. Anyway, guys, in some cases it hasn't been funny. I've seen a lot of foreigners who have been here for years, made really good friends and just didn't want to leave, but because of the situations, I've now had to leave and head out of the country, which is quite a shame. And if you do leave, you need to get a PCR test as well, 72 hours. I've heard in some cases it needs to be 48 hours now. So things are changing all over the place rapidly, guys. Things are just changing, so people need to stay up to date. I recommend joining a couple of Facebook groups. One is called Vietnam Legal Group. The other one is called Vietnam Visa Advice Group. Now those groups are really good groups to give you some good informative information about the situation and what's actually going on. And there have been cases where people have put posts on and giving their experiences on leaving the country. Like some have left the country but been told they're like taking out $6,000 US when they should be taking out $5,000 US, and so they've got to pay some coffee money because they've taken out money over the exceeded limit. So the exceeded limit here is $5,000 US you can take out in cash. So yeah, there's been other cases as well on certain situations, and everything is kind of on a case-by-case basis. So that's kind of the situation here, guys. I'll probably give you guys another update in maybe another week or so about this whole situation again, and give you a lowdown on what's happening. And I hope you guys can get some information from this video. Give it a thumbs up if you can and you did enjoy it. See you guys on the next video. Experience the journey, inspire others, live life, guys. Peace.